Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we go through various cryptocurrency projects and we ask ourselves, should we be investing in this? Today we'll be looking at something called Tokenclub, aka TCT. If you guys do like what I do on this channel, please consider liking and subscribing, and if you do wish to comment, please have a read of that little shebang down below, and we'll get going. So we're going to be looking at a bunch of little metrics today. We got a bunch of stuff to look at, and yeah. So first of all, this is one of the older projects which I'm actually going to be doing a video on. So believe it or not, this, according to Moonarch, the original token date was from 4 years ago, so 24th of the 12th, 2017. So this is a pretty old boy, and the market cap is only 16 million. Not very high for something which is that old. But we'll look at some other things about this, because maybe there are things beneath the surface which we don't know. So, as we can see, it started out at 0.057, had a bit of an all-time high at the top of, or during a peak of 2018, and we also had another one which went even higher at the peak of 2021, and that went to 0.09. Just as a little bit of like not financial advice, the best time to buy is when it's low, and the best time to sell is when it's high. When it's at or near its all-time high, try to avoid buying. So what is Tokenclub? Have a read there. Doesn't quite tell us what Tokenclub is. When we go to their website, also doesn't quite tell us what Tokenclub is. Oh, but it says here, about us. Tokenclub is a global community of digital currency enthusiasts, including investments, social, live games, etc. It is committed to building an autonomous, trusting, and efficient community-based economic network so that every role involved in value creation is possible to share value fairly. Cool. Also notice a bit of a typo here. Risk warning. The user-created portfolio in Tokenclub represents only a personal opinion and is provided for information only and does not investment advice. So remember guys, does not investment advice. Cool. So here's something which is pretty interesting. They're on some pretty big name exchanges. Pretty big, man. So they're on Binance. And you guys know that I talk about Binance in a wonderful and delicious way for a centralized exchange, and they're also on gate.io, which I believe kind of counts as like decentralized, but I believe you have to provide KYC, which makes it centralized, so I'm not entirely sure kind of where the line sits with that. But as we can see, gate.io is number 9, they're also on OKX, which is number 18, so these are a list of the top exchanges. And apparently it says that, okay, so actually Mexi is a little bit below it, but it looks like in terms of the volume, there may actually be more volume on Mexi, but only just. Yes, so that is interesting. It's not on any major swaps, and we will see something about that soon when we have a look at some of the extra token metrics. This is their Medium, full of interest and everything. Moving on, this is their Telegram. When I say the Telegram, you can't actually see the Telegram. I'm not going to be salty about this one. Let's just move on. You guys have heard enough salt from me recently. Cool. So we also have, so this is what we can see according to Etherscan. We can see that Binance, and so Binance 7 and Binance 8, which I believe would probably be the ones which will be providing liquidity for Tokenclub, as much as they could probably, like, I guess, quote unquote, sell at any time, really. But these guys actually are on 2 different contracts. So one is on Ethereum and the other one is on the Binance smart chain. Alright. And what else can we see? So Binance peg tokens, which I believe may have something to do with this jazz here. So that makes a bit of sense. But have a look at some of these other big boys. 17%. 17%. Their value is currently $3 million worth. 3.3 mil. Another one, 9% of the total token supply, and that doesn't include the minuses from the 0.4%, which we can see in terms of that jet. So just want to let you know of some of the risks, is that these two big boys right here are potentially risks. All these others, I'm assuming, don't know this for sure. Also don't know who PTO is, never heard of that. It could have something to do with gate.io in some way or another. But I believe that these other boys here are also actually just, as I say, they're providing the extra liquidity, from my understanding. So let's briefly have a look at the Binance Smart Chain one as well. So this is Binance Pig. So wrap tokens are backed by tokens vaults in Binance. And again, another massive holder. This is Binance Hot Wallet. Once again, not entirely sure if let's say, I don't know, this could be, so I believe that this will probably be providing some extra liquidity. Not entirely sure with that jazz. But look, we have a smart contract. That's something which we haven't seen before. Yeah, smart contract, fabulous. But as you can see, a bunch of these other addresses are holding more than 5%. But so keep in mind that the total supply, according to this, is 60 million, and according to this, it is 1 billion. So it may not be as much. So I mean, if we, let's say, do a brief comparison, so the quantity here currently holds 16 million. When we have a look at holders here, 16 million would be somewhere between these two. So yeah, so it's not crazy threatening, but it's enough to feel a bit concerned as to the fact that they have this, and why would they? Yeah, anyway. So let's have a look at what bscheck tells us. So there's no buy and sell tax, fabulous, good. Holders, 22,000, quite a lot. It says here, so it talks about the detective dev wallet contract. There's nothing really concerning because it's only really 0%, or 2 cents if you really want to look at that jazz. Cannot find LP infos because I believe that it doesn't exist. And the ownership has not been renounced. For this particular contract, this could be concerning, and I will show you guys why that may be. Also, detected address, 17% and 9%. Big boys. Although, is that 9% actually 9, or was it something different? Nope, it's actually 9. There we go. Risky, mate. BSC check. What can we find out for the BSC one? Binance Smart Chain, so 1.53%, and also says that this is under contract. The owner not renounced as well, and they cannot read the contract code because it seems to be a non-standard one. And there's possibly reasons for that, but we'll continue watching out. So pretty much it says top holders liquidity warning here, and so what Tokensniffer says, which we'll be looking at shortly, is that pretty much any wallet which you see which holds more than 5% has a potential risk of being a rug pull. The fact that we are finding that like 5 wallets here which are over 5% is concerning, but once again, I don't think that is too crazy concerning, as I believe that when it comes to the overall package deal, it's not that threatening, to be honest. But that's just my own sort of personal point of view. Yeah. So anyway, Tokensniffer says that it says 0. So source does not contain. So this source contains a pausable contract, which could allow transfers to be halted. So that could be a bit concerning. But when I was doing research, I couldn't find any reason for why it would necessarily be a crazy bad thing if they paused the contract. Yeah, I couldn't find anything sort of too crazy. But we will continue looking. So owner/creator has less than 5% of circulating supply. All other holders possess less than 5%, so they do not, which is once again a substantial amount. And there was no liquidity pool, and it looks like they don't have any other similar token contracts. So that is that jazz. Tokensniffer, what does that tell us about this? So it says that the source contains a proxy contract which could potentially allow the functionality to be changed. changed. Sorry, beg your pardon. So there could be something hidden in the actual contract here, which could mean that there could be something funky, which we don't actually know about what's sort of going on. So they could have some sort of call somewhere else, which could cause for a bit of a major thing for us. But yeah, so anyway, moving on. So what else does it say? So there are other similar token contracts to this one. We can see some of these others. There is no difference between this contract and a bunch of these other contracts. Once again, because it is a Binance pegged contract, you know, I'm actually thinking of not including the Binance pegged contracts in my videos. Just because, like, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment down below if you think I should actually include the Binance pegged contracts, because, like, to be honest, they're just kind of like, all of them are kind of just like copy and pastes of each other, to be honest. Like, it's that's pretty much these guys. Cool. So this is the OG token contract. So once again, it can't find liquidity and market cap because it probably can't actually identify it, because they don't have public access to a liquidity pool. But it says that 99% of it is unlocked and about 0.48% of it is locked. Sorry, not locked, burned. So when we have a look at some of these rug check things, so most of it is just sort of pause and unpause. Check code function of ownable.transfer ownership. So yeah, what this could possibly mean for us is that they can go and transfer the ownership and be like, oh hey, we're not the owners, these guys are actually the owners. And what does that also mean for us if that is the case? Boom, what do you know? Suddenly they decided to change something in the token contract. I don't know. Rest in peace, folks. Bon voyage. See you later. But maybe not. So owner might be able to pause trading, honeypot risk. Yes. Which actually, that possibly could still be a honeypot risk, because maybe they may be able to actually take out their own transactions. If, let's say, hypothetically, they were actually this owner which held the 17%, and then they decided to, I don't know, just go on like bulk sell, for instance. Then rest in peace, everybody. Ownable has unexpected function ownable. How about that? And it says approved should not have modifier when not paused. Check it. Transfer should not have modifier when not paused. So yeah, so in other words, when not paused, transfer. When not paused, approved. So to me, that feels like something which could possibly be a level of a honeypot to some extent. So that's a bit concerning to me from my point of view. I did have a chat to somebody about that, and they said that it's actually not that concerning. Yeah, but I feel like maybe they were just reading it incorrectly, because that's what it looks like to me when I read that jazz. Cool. So I was. Is this something different? This might be a different token. Nope, this is the correct one. So I tried to see if I could find anything regarding the pause. But yeah, there's probably going to be something hidden in here regarding the actual address. But yeah, not entirely sure. So let's move on to this one, which is the BSC one. So once again, I believe that they can't actually scan the token contract. But remember that this is just one of those typical like BSC like peg things. So yeah, and as you can see, 100% of it says burned, or of that liquidity, and then it also says 100% is unlocked as well. So yeah, which, to be honest, to me feels a bit pointless why you'd actually have the actual peg token. But you know, your boy could just be not acting too intelligent. So let's have a look at some of these Twitter stats, eh? So they currently have 35,000 followers, and over the last 30 days they have been dropping like flies. They have had tweets. They haven't tweeted anything over the last 30 days. In fact, they haven't tweeted anything for what seems to be like a real long time. And yeah, so it sort of makes sense why people have sort of been dropping off, because I mean, nothing's really happening from what I've personally seen as well. So let's have a look through this graveyard. So October 16th, 2021, September 23rd, 2021, September 22nd, 2021, September 21st, 2021. So as you can see, they've been very active, an extremely active community, giving you the latest and greatest content. Dead project, death project, are you alive? $1 soon. 0.01. Even lower than that. Oh boy. So in terms of spam comments, I mean, like, I don't know what to say about this dude. Update today, good. Are you alive? TCT. People are probably a little bit concerned because, you know, like, it's a little bit dead right now. Check your PM. So it doesn't really feel like this sort of like bot comments or like real like spammy comments. It just sort of feels like people are just kind of saying, oh, well, I mean, you get like the usual bot comments, but I'm talking about like paid bot comments, like ones which these guys would have paid. But I don't really see any proof of that, so I think that's pretty fine, to be honest. So since these guys have been around for 5 years, I decided to actually extend this thing out for a little bit. So they had a bit of surge, a few extra moments. Was this 2018? Yep, so that probably would have been during their all-time high. And they had that other all-time high, which would have been happening right along there. I'm going to skip straight to the last 90 days, skip past 12 months. And as we can see, barely anything. Actually, no, let's jump back to 12 months and see if there's anything fascinating. Oh yeah, because I had that thing in 2021, and then, yep. 30 days, what does 30 days tell us? Yep, that's random. Cool, so we found out that jazz. About their website itself, pretty much learned nothing. This tells me nothing about these guys. Can't find anything. I typed in AMAs, interviews, tokenomics, vesting, like I typed in all of that jazz. But considering that this project is about 4 years old, possibly 5 years old because it's 2017, but it's like December 2017, so is it really? It's more close to 4 years. I mean, they probably just didn't, they just have chosen to not do the same things which everybody else does, which is actually allowing themselves to be transparent. So let's jump to our favorite chart, folks. Cool, great. So this is CSI's work in progress, likely inaccurate project checklist. Functional and clean website / media. It's clean, but it tells us barely anything. We'll give that like a 3. Any threatening big boy holders? Yes. I'm gonna give that like a 2 because it's not like the biggest, but they're big boy holders and they could be threatening. Any paid bot comments? Didn't really see anything. So I'm gonna give that a 10 because they did really well in that category. Is the token / coin distribution fair? We don't know. So I'm gonna say, I mean, according to the actual chains itself, I really want to do a non-applicable for this one, but I'm not going to. I want to be authentic, so we're going to give it a 2 because we just don't know. We don't have any proof other than we can look at these chains here, but all because of some of these big boy holders, it doesn't look very fair, to say the least. Solid roadmap. Don't know any roadmap, so that's a 1. Trusted CEX / DEX listings. These guys get a 10 for this, dude. How the heck they got onto Binance and Gate.io and OKX? I'm just straight impressed. I mean, specifically Binance and Gate.io. I mean, yeah, if you can get onto Binance, then baby girl, you've sort of won the universe. So 10 for that. Is the team doxed? 1. Absolutely not. 1 for that. 1 for that because we don't know. Any notable partnerships? They may have had a partnership with Binance, which could have caused them to have been listed on Binance. So I'm going to do this one as not applicable, because I I couldn't find anything on it, but they could have notable partnerships. So I'm going to keep that as a not applicable one. So that is what we got. We have a 31 out of 90 and a 2-star. So a 2-star for if you should invest in it. Keep in mind that these do also show up as half stars as well. So it could be 2.5 star, but it's literally 2-star. Yes. Cool. So that's pretty much my video, guys. Please join my Patreon if you want to request things for fan requests and videos and if you want me to like do video projects for you. Please ask on here, for goodness sake, become my advocate. Give me some money per month, because your boy needs to support himself somehow. Can't be here living on the unemployment benefit for the rest of my life. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope that this video has been entertaining to you. I hope that you've learned something today as well, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, okay? Much love, ta-ta, bon voyage, and fare thee well.